talked about during those 107 days and even before was that the Supreme Court, during the course of the election cycle, made the decision, as you'll recall, that the president would be immune from any of his conduct while in office. So we went into the election with this individual, Donald Trump, knowing that he would essentially be immune from any consequence for misbehavior while in office. So the Supreme Court basically gave him that. You look at what's happening in terms of the militarization of the streets of America, deploying people, men and women who have been trained to fight our adversaries or to do other important work that is about uplifting the well-being of the American people, being sent to the streets of America like here in Chicago. You look at what's happening in terms of the weaponization of the Department of Justice, to your point, going after the Attorney General of the state of New York, who a previous prosecutor, Juan told, was a conservative Republican, reviewed the evidence and decided that there was not enough facts to charge her with a crime, and she has been indicted. And what we see is that the rule of law is very much under attack by this president, who thinks that the Department of Justice is his personal lawyer and is basically subverting the will of the people around constitutional safeguards. I think that we also have to recognize that the district court judges, some of whom were even appointed by Trump and Democrats, but Republicans and democratically appointed judges in the district courts, are standing up. And I think that is something that we should recognize and praise, that they are saying that where there's an abuse of power, they're going to stand firm. But we also see everyday people and their constitutional rights being trampled, whether it be Fourth, Fifth, or Sixth Amendment rights. So this is a real issue, a serious issue, and the people, I think, are speaking through their vote and their voice to say they're not going to stand for it.
You mentioned the Attorney General, and Trump messaged her. He thought he messaged her, but he sent it out to everyone. I'm assuming you saw that, calling for...
Yeah, I hear that he must have DM'd her and didn't realize everybody would see it.
Yeah, everyone was surprised by it, including himself, apparently. But he called for the Comey and the James indictments. Your fellow Californian, Adam Schiff, is on that list. So right now he's at 2 of 3. Do you believe that these are about getting convictions, or is it actually about sending a message to anyone who might speak out against him to make clear to folks that they shouldn't do it because there might be consequences?
I think he has a vengeance campaign, which is, I think, really exposing the petty nature of who he is and his deep level of insecurity, that he feels that he has to use the power of the federal government and the United States Department of Justice to go after people who have disagreed with him, or as prosecutors who have used a combination of the facts and law to prosecute him. From everything I know, Attorney General James based a conviction, or she didn't convict them, but based her charges, which was then resulted in a conviction, based on facts in the law. But he can't take that. He can't take the fact that he's been held accountable, and so he is on a vengeance campaign.
What the DOJ does, and you know this better than I do, is so fundamental to the backbone of the country, right?
Yeah.
The rule of law versus the rule of man. Can Americans trust the criminal justice system right now and what's coming out of the DOJ?
I don't know if we can trust what's coming out of the Department of Justice right now. And that pains me to say that as someone who spent the majority of my career as a prosecutor, where the work of a prosecutor should be to do justice. Many who have worked as U.S. attorneys, worked for the U.S. Department of Justice, talk openly and rightly about the fact that they should do their work without any fear and not in the interest of favor. And that so clearly is not what is ruling the day there. And when you have an administration and individuals who are manipulating the justice system of America, in that way, they best understand that this is not only about something that affects the individuals that they're targeting, this affects all of us who believe that, flawed though it may be, that a justice system is actually supposed to be blind in the way that it does its work, not targeting people because of who they are, or for that matter, what they look like.
During your DC events this week, you said that you encourage civil service folks to stay in their jobs
Yeah.
to help, I think, as